Welcome to our video about Comply Desktop Test Location Configuration. Test locations represent the individual physical locations where your clients report for testing. They can be any of contract vendor sites or your office location. Wherever a client actually tests or drops, Comply considers a test location. You create test locations in packs, and their basic information synchronizes to Comply. Please refer to our video entitled Comply 3.0 Configuring Packs for Use with Comply for details on that. Once the test location is synced to Comply, you must use the Test Locations Configure subtab described in this video to set the default testing hours and email contacts for the new location. This is typically a one-time setup task unless at some later date the hours or email contacts change. There are three panels on the Configure subtab. We'll start with the Appointment Defaults panel at the top. Let's select the Westcare Las Vegas location for this example. On this top panel, you set the default hours for males and females for each of the 7 days of the week. Don't be concerned if a test location does not have regular hours. I'll address that at the end of this video. When you first view a new test location in Comply, the days and hours are set to Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for males and females, but you'll want to change that. To do that, you can select one or more days of the week by clicking and control clicking or clicking and shift clicking. Now, look at the first row of options just beneath the grid. You can set the day or days as closed. If you do close these days, there's nothing further to change for them, and you can proceed to select Update. Of course, I won't do that because I want to show you the remaining options. You can make these days open to both genders by leaving the radio button selection at all, or if you'd like to test for males only on these 3 days, choose males only. Alternately, choose females only. I'll leave it at all. To the right, you see max appointments per days. This setting allows you to cap the number of appointments scheduled on these selected days. If you do not want to set a max value, leave it blank. I'll set it to 50 so you can see how it looks in the grid. Finally, set the testing hours for males and females. I'll set males from 9 a.m. to noon, and also select the optional split shift so that they can continue testing from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. For females, I'll set it from 9 a.m. to noon only. For example, your vendor may only staff for females in the morning hours. Once those hours are set, simply select Update, and those hours are set for those days that you selected, Monday through Wednesday. Now move on to configure the settings for the remaining days of the week. Okay, I did not describe the checkbox to the right. Apply changes to all future appointments. You would typically check this box if you are making appointment default changes to an existing test location that already has future appointments scheduled. This will reschedule existing future appointments for the new hours that you specify. If you plan to use this, ensure to check the box before you select Update. After you have set the appointment defaults for all 7 days, you would now enter location contacts. These are the persons and their email addresses to whom Comply should automatically send daily test location schedule reports and pre-filled chain of custody forms if your court uses those. It's as easy as it looks. Simply type in a contact name, email address, and click Add. You can add as many contacts to the list as you like, and they will appear in the grid to the left. If you later need to remove contacts, simply highlight a contact in the grid and select Remove Contacts. Finally, let's look at the Location Settings panel at the bottom. Uncheck the active checkbox if this test location is no longer on contract or in use, and you no longer wish it to display anywhere else in Comply. Effectively, this is an archive function for the location. Site ID is an optional value to give the test location a nickname per se, which you can have voice metrics display somewhere on your customized chain of custody form. There is no PAX equivalent for this value. Choose the time zone for this location. This is important for Comply to accurately schedule appointment times and recite them to client callers. The email password value is optional. By providing a password here, you can later choose to password protect PDF report and form attachments emailed to vendors. Simply start typing a password to see the password complexity rules displayed below the field. I'll leave it blank so you don't have to take up any more time watching this video. When you're done, select Save Settings, and that will do it. Before we leave, let's address what you do in the Configure subtab if a particular location has no regular testing hours every week. This is not uncommon for small test location vendors who test a small number of clients and typically provide you with dates for each following month they plan to test. For these vendors, we recommend that you set all 7 weekdays to close and use the Calendar Exceptions subtab to add the testing dates just before you generate your monthly calendars. We'll cover calendar exceptions in the next video. Of course, ensure to add location contacts and location settings for these vendors regardless. In this video, we've covered a lot of ground, but keep in mind you typically only need to use this subtab one time when you've added a new test location in PAX. Otherwise, you'd only return here if the routine hours change for some reason. Ensure to watch the Test Location Calendar Exceptions video next. Thank you for joining us today.